Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 15th to the 21st of April. So we'll dive straight in. Just very quickly, some winners have won and I don't know yet because I've not heard from them. So make sure you go and check out your my community page, okay, which is on my profile. It just says community. All right, because 3 people have not yet claimed their reading. So make sure you go and look because you might have won. They have been tagged in, so if you have one, you should already maybe have a notification that you were tagged in something, but make sure you go check it out just in case, okay? But anyway, let's dive into your reading, my angels. Let's see what's going on for you guys. All right, for my lovely Pisces, please. Ooh, look at this already. You have men holding a heart, okay? Definitely going to be some romance coming up for you guys because you also have the door to romance. If you are the man holding a heart, then you could actually be really unlocking somebody else's, or there is a deeper, I'm hearing deeper development of a relationship. So maybe there is a new door opening. Maybe there is more intimacy in a current relationship. Or if you're single, then you could really be ready to get yourself out there. For others of you, this could be a man holding a heart for you. And even if it's not a man, either way, there literally is some love coming in for you guys, okay? Or you're just really falling in love with something, or maybe even someone, who knows? But let's carry on for you guys. We got lots of hearts coming through for you. For my lovely Pisces, please. All right, you have a change in the wind coming up, okay? This is usually, there are 2 ways to read this card, that I read this card. This can even mean that you are actually changing direction, okay? A path that you were going down kind of is no longer working out for you, or you just get the sense that you want to go down a different path, or maybe the universe is kind of pushing you there. Like you can see with this wind is kind of like pushing you backwards in a different way. It could mean like that for some of you, so maybe you are just changing direction. Or another way that I read this is almost like there is something here that you might be carrying with you that just cannot fit through that door. And we do have a door in your reading. So whether that is baggage, all right, that you've maybe carried from past relationships or in general, or people, these people can't go with you in this new chapter. It depends on whether that relates to romance or whether that relates to something else, okay? But either way, there is a big change in direction happening, okay? Let's see, for my lovely Pisces, let's get another one from this deck. Another zebra here, chaos and conflict. So I actually, again, I kind of read these cards like very intuitively, as I've had them for quite a few years. And I always see this as part 1 and part 2 when I refer to them in a reading. And in this case, it's actually literally coming up as part 1 and part 2. So there's a little bit of transformation going on for you guys, Pisces, within like your sense of character is one thing I will say. The change in the wind is almost like you are kind of maybe establishing that maybe a certain route that you've already been going down might not be the route that you want to go down anymore. And you could be changing your dreams, your goals, maybe your path in general. Like if it's in terms of your career, you could be completely changing it up here. I feel like this wind is really not only stripping you of anything you've been holding on to, or is piggybacking on your path, so that's certain people as well, but it's almost kind of also taking away the way that you saw yourself or identified. The zebra print is almost like the external layer of yourself, so maybe this is things that we kind of was conditioned to believe about ourselves, or the protective layer that we put up against the wall sometimes when you've been hurt. And it's almost like I'm seeing that is what's crumbling, and you're kind of rediscovering yourself. The difference between a zebra and a giraffe, I guess, in this case, if we're going to use it very metaphorically, if I can get my words out today, instead of seeing things in just black and white and it's either this or it's that, you're kind of getting a lot more perspective. And that is a word I will bring up for you because giraffes, again, are much higher up. They get to see things from a different place, and Pisces, you guys actually are the hanged man in a tarot deck. So maybe you guys are really changing your perspective of the world, of your identity, of your dreams and goals. So maybe you felt like you can only have one goal in life, and it's a specific thing that you've been chasing. Maybe you're realizing it's way beyond that. Zebra is black and white, so that is that very black and white way of thinking, but it feels like you're adding color into who you are, and therefore the things around you are also getting a bit more interesting. Chaos and conflict is not easy. because it's chaos and conflict. I think that this happens when you're going through a transformation. This could mean that, again, things that no longer identify with you and this new goal and this new, I'm hearing ideology, this new perspective of life that you're having, things will have to fall away. They might bring in a little bit of chaos and conflict in terms of people around you, but this can also be internal, okay? But we will dive into it in a second, but it definitely feels like you're really changing. You are becoming a lot more open and vulnerable, which would make sense with your love life changing as well. But it feels like you're being stripped of something. Most likely a barrier that you put up against the world, but we'll carry on. Let's see what else is going on for you guys here. For my lovely Pisces, please, for this week. Joy. I think Leo had this as well. I don't quite remember who it was. It was a fire sign, so you could be dealing with one, but this is just joy for you. Joy, as you can see, has the sunflowers on it, so it's really about positivity, facing the sun, facing the good in your life. So this is a really good card to come up, because it says that this transformation that you're going through, as much as it can be quite conflicting, it changes up a lot. If you're having to go on a different journey or a different path, then it could definitely mean that you might have to end some contracts to go into something else. Like, it's a little bit chaotic. Could be moving homes for some of you as well. It's a bit chaotic here, but I do think it's going to bring you in that joy. So you also have quest coming in as well. Don't make things too difficult for yourself. You could definitely be going on a quest. Again, your purpose could be changing, or you're getting a deeper sense of your purpose, or your goals in life definitely could be changing here. But quest here, actually, this card says this lady feels like she has to go through, like the rain to get to brighter days, and she's looking for that blue path, and she feels like she has to go through challenges. She has to make a massive quest out of this discovery of this path. But the boy kind of comes in and kind of cuts her out of that imagination and goes, hey, but isn't it already there? Aren't you already on the blue path here? So don't make it too complicated. You don't have to do anything. I see that there's dramatic changes coming in for you, but don't make it overcomplicated. Some of you may feel like you have to go through something really crazy to get to the other side, but Spirit is almost saying here, you're already on the path of change. You don't have to do anything drastic apart from things you kind of already know you have to do. You've already discovered what the path that you need to be on. For a lot of you need to hear that, but it's just a little bit of a change. I kind of feel like instead of going forward, you're at a loop here. You've been walking all this way, and there's a little bit of a loop or a change. You thought it was a straight road, but there is a turn here. That turn is not going backwards, it's just going in a different direction. I hope this makes sense to you, Pisces. I'm trying to figure it out too. But joy and quest, I feel like something's really going to make your heart sing. Maybe that's why the door is opening up to that heart here. But anyway, let's go into your keywords for the week. For my lovely Pisces, please. Trust. Okay, you're being asked to trust. This says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Love that. Following your gut instincts is going to be very important for you, Pisces. You'll have a deep knowing about something and what you need to do. So you also have gratitude. This says, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Okay. All right, let's dive into your tarot. Let's have a little look and see Pisces overall energy, please. 9 of Wands. This feels like you're kind of ready for a fight. Maybe not. I don't mean in a sense of aggression. The 9 of Wands is like wounded warrior. You've kind of been through a lot of stuff. And because we have chaos and conflict here and a change in the wind, this is like I'm ready for the next thing to really put an end to maybe an exhausting chapter of your life, or to just change things up in your life. The 9 of Wands goes to the 10, where you're finally able to release something. Like I said, it could very well be baggage or just things that have been burdening you for a while, whether that's a thought process, whether that's people, whether that's just something that's been bugging you lately. It does feel like you're ready to kind of put something to an end or end a chapter, which feels quite nice, to be honest with you. I think that this is showing me that you are ready for something. Anything else for Pisces current energy? 7 of Cups. You have 10 of Pentacles and Justice. It could be something to do with your family coming up this week. This could be an inheritance for some, Justice, and the Ten of Pentacles could be hearing about some sort of money coming away. This can also be to do with some sort of contract as well. You do with the Seven of Cups though, so there's a little bit of confusion or uncertainty about maybe what's happening for you currently, especially if things are a little bit clouded for you. It makes sense. But the Justice card and the Ten of Pentacles, this represents like a contract coming up for you, or a business partnership, or just some karma coming your way that is going to bring in some stability, and maybe even some financial rewards. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles is really about that legacy, that future goal, that stability that we want, that financial freedom, building that family. Okay, and in whatever way it means to you, definitely is the end goal that we all kind of desire. Loyal people around you, you know, etc., etc. Justice coming through here feels like you're trying to make very balanced decisions that are going to pay off for you later down the line here, specifically to do with the next maybe 10-year plan or whatever it is for you. So I feel like you're a little bit confused, but you are ready to push through. Justice coming through so that you can bring some balance here, and that the action that you put out can come back to you positively. That's what it feels like. I think you're being very aware of your decisions at this time. All right, let's dive into, I'm going to clarify each of your oracles so that we can dive deeper into these messages. So I'm going to leave the romance messages for a little bit later, but let's go into this change in the wind. Why is a change in the wind here? Woo! Seven of Swords, you see that? Some of you could, again, be really kind of changing the strategy. Seven of Swords is about strategy, can be about having deceptive people around you. So maybe you're realizing something is, someone is going against the plan, or maybe something's not really working with somebody. For others of you, if it's not anyone around you, the change in the wind can really be about kind of going against creating a new strategy, going against something. I almost feel like there is a little bit of, maybe you feel a little bit of shame or guilt around this. I always feel like the Seven of Swords, when it's about the person I'm reading for, considering you're making a change, you might feel a bit guilty about this change that you're making, maybe because of other people being involved. Let's clarify. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Page of Wands. This speaks about maybe you guys are discovering that somebody could be gossiping about you or doesn't have your best interest in mind. For others of you, if you are being sneaky, be aware, because I feel like you are either hearing that somebody's being sneaky, or if you're being sneaky, if I can speak, Pisces, about something, someone might kind of out you, so be careful. I don't know. This Page of Wands can be a little bit of like a childlike energy. One is a little bit curious. Someone might actually see what you're doing. For some of you, I don't know what this message is, Pisces. So if it resonates, then clearly it's your message. And if it doesn't, I'm so sorry. Seven of Swords with a Page of Wands is almost someone catching you in the act, or maybe you're catching someone in the act. Like, Page of Wands is a messenger. So definitely there is a message coming through about something being a little bit sneaky. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords one more time. The Tower. This is very interesting. It definitely is a falling out or some kind of destruction. Okay, again, or maybe something that you are building or have built. That does feel like there's a little bit of destruction coming in with that. It could very well be very similar to that kind of tower on the zebra's back. I always see that the wind is trying to push that off of your back here. So I don't know if this is a relationship, a friendship, business partnership, or whatever. You could really be discovering that there's just a little bit of not the right intentions coming through. And the Tower card is something's falling apart so that you can take a leap of faith in a different direction. So for some of you, you could be trusting your gut instinct that you feel like you shouldn't be doing this thing anymore and you want to go into something else. Others of you, it just feels like you're going to definitely hear about it. Okay, the Tower is happening. It is happening for your best interest. I know it doesn't feel like that at the time when the Tower happens, because it's like complete divine intervention, destruction, the building's on fire, here. But at the end of the day, if it's divine intervention and it's for a reason, we have to understand that you might, if it's already happened and you didn't know why, then you might be finding out about it. Because Page of Wands is a messenger. You will discover something, or someone is going to snitch on someone. Don't know, so random. Right, let's go into chaos and conflict. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which is you kind of rebuilding things back up. This is you really working on something. For some of you, this could really just be, this change in the wind is really some sort of enlightenment or epiphany that you were going in the wrong direction. And maybe it's through what somebody said that made you realize that you were actually going against what you are passionate about, what you believe in. So you were in a corporate job, but you want to do something more spiritual, for example, like you're turning around and doing something that's more in alignment to who you really are. And that's the message I'm trying to get across to you. Chaos and conflict is coming up with the Eight of Pentacles, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like the work that you're putting out is paying off for you. You're building on your skills. If there is any project that you guys are dealing with at this time, it looks very successful. It looks like you're making progress. Let's clarify this card again. This could just be you really working on yourself and bettering yourself. Two of Wands is amazing. Both of these are really good cards, especially for business and career, because it's saying that you are not only doing great at what you are doing, but you are also going to expand this. Two of Wands is usually about thinking about the future and what you're wanting to expand in. So some of you could grow a business. All right. I feel like the more that you are removing these layers that you've had on you, but you know, they are not who you are. I don't know what this message is, but you're really changing a personality, but it's not that you're changing. It's like you're actually rediscovering who you've always been, but maybe wasn't in alignment with. Again, maybe that's just what it is. Some of you could be like going back to how you used to be, whatever that means to you. Like someone could just pop up and be like, oh, like Pisces, like you've changed a lot since I last saw you. Like what happened to the painting that you used to do? Or what happened to, I don't know, like it's just something reminded you that you might have been going down the wrong path or something, or maybe with the wrong person. I don't know. Either way, as soon as you discover it, it may bring chaos and conflict outside of yourself, but I really feel like this is causing you to create a lot of development within yourself and a lot more expansion, a lot more, it feels like you're going in the right direction, and that's why things seem to like be happening quite smoothly. You have a lot of good cards clarifying in chaos and conflict. So this is a good chaos and conflict. Four of Wands. This is actually reaching a goal. This is maybe collaborating with some people and having some success here, reaching a milestone. Some of you, this could be like an engagement happening soon. It's just like a coming together and a celebration of really reaching something, which I love. So the more that you're discovering who you are and removing all of these layers and the baggage that's kind of covered you, the more that you're finding success. Like that's very clear. Okay. I do love that. All right. Let's dive into joy. Three of Wands. Now, I feel like there's a message here. Three of Wands is usually like waiting for something. So maybe you guys were waiting for joy to happen in your life until you realize that you actually have to be the one to create it. And even if things are a little bit chaotic and you've been through some crap, Pisces, it doesn't mean that you can't find joy in this moment. And I think that this happens. I think this kind of goes hand in hand with gratitude. Sometimes it's just the small things. Like I get really excited when I look out the window and it's a sunny day. Like I'm super grateful for it. Or if I get to watch one of my favorite videos and have that time to myself, like I feel so much gratitude. And it's just the small things. It doesn't have to be, you know, that you're rich or famous or whatever. For you to be happy, you don't have to reach a goal to be happy. You can learn to love the journey and appreciate the small moments, and that the happiest people are the people who do that. So for some of you, that could be a message to find joy in the present. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait until you've done something to appreciate the journey. Like appreciate it now. Enjoy the small little things. All right. Don't go waiting. Don't be waiting for it. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's what you're learning. Let's just look at Quest. I'm quite interested to see what they're talking about here. King of Cups coming in. This is speaking about being quite emotionally mature, emotionally stable. Interesting. Eight of Cups, walking away from things that don't serve you emotionally. The wild card, which is amazing, is about new beginnings, new cycles, and the star, which is about healing. The wild and the star card can definitely be fame or like being recognized or noticed, or definitely kind of stepping into your purpose, like your North Star, your it feels like you're following your dreams and goals because you're walking away from things that don't serve you. So for this to kind of follow up with Quest and the King of Cups, I think a part of your like emotional stability is actually coming through with understanding when to let go of some things that aren't fulfilling for you. I don't know if that's a lesson some of you needed to learn or have needed to learn lately. I almost am getting a sense here that maybe you felt like you had to go through tough times to be able to be successful in some way or whatever. I don't know. The Quest card is really about overcomplicating something. And sometimes we stay in situations that aren't fulfilling, just waiting for, the last two cups to happen or waiting for something to just pay off in the end. But if it's been dragging you down emotionally, I think a big part of this Quest card is actually by discovering that you can have happiness now. You don't need to overcomplicate it or wait for it to just come your way. I don't know if that's a message for somebody, but the wild card is, again, it feels like by you walking away from something or emotionally detaching from something here, I'm hearing like it becomes a breeze, which goes hand in hand with what I was saying about sometimes we overcomplicate something. When something is not for us, it's very clear that it's not for you, but sometimes we like wait it out, or let me just try again, or let me just see if this really is. I don't know if that's relationships that you're going back into, or if it's, I don't know. Pisces, I'm going to be honest, I'm confused. But what I will say is that the cards are there. It does feel like you're gaining a lot more stability above your emotions here. So it kind of feels like you're feeling a lot happier anyways by walking away from things that make you unhappy. By detaching from that, you are walking in the right direction when you do that. Okay, there is a new cycle coming in. This kind of looks like a glow up, to be honest. Again, there is this element of vulnerability coming through with the Star card, and I think they're wanting you to step into that. Especially with the World card too. I feel like you're becoming more vulnerable. It's not a bad thing, Pisces. It means that I think that you're being a lot more open about yourself and who you are, and you're not afraid to show that. You don't need to have those barriers up. I think you're becoming more emotional. But anyway, you already are, Pisces. I'm sure of it. But it feels like there's something that you are discovering about yourself that you don't need to hide. Okay. But anyway, let's go in. I'm going to look at the man holding a heart. The Knight of Cups. For some of you, there definitely is like a date coming up. I'm going to have to speak to loads of different people here. So I'm going to try and make sure I adjust message accordingly, because some of you will be in relationships. The Knight of Cups is somebody wearing their heart on their sleeve, and being very open and vulnerable about their feelings and emotions. That could be you. That could be someone else around you. Okay. It definitely feels like somebody is letting you know how they feel, or vice versa. Let's get one more for that. A lot of passion here. Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, whether that's you having wish fulfillment by kind of going through some very vulnerable emotions and letting them be known by others. Again, I don't know if that's your own self-expression, or again, in terms of romance, there is wish fulfillment here. So whether that's with the person that you want, or whether you just feel very happy with what this person has to say, there's a sense of pride with that card. So clearly, I think someone's going to compliment you in a very special way. But again, this can also be you doing something that you want to do in terms of your heart space, okay, by being open and vulnerable. Anyway, let's look at the door to romance. The Knight of Wands. I'm seeing travel coming up. Whether you meet someone through travel, or whether this door opening up is causing you to feel very optimistic about your love life, feeling like you're ready for it. Again, I don't know. I'm speaking to single people and people in relationships. The Knight of Wands is really this go-getter energy, like going out there and having fun. So if you're in a relationship, there definitely could be a lot more passion, a lot more love and emotions coming through, a lot more vulnerability, and a lot more adventure, a lot more fun moments. We'll say it seems very exciting. Could be travel, could just be experiencing new things together. It feels very good. For those of you outside of relationships, so if you are single, definitely feels like somebody's coming in who has a crush on you, or you're very ready to open your heart up here, and definitely more ready to meet new people. And I do see you meeting people. the Sun card. So I do feel like here a lot of optimism coming through in your love life. All right, you feeling like you're able to be yourself in love. Just be careful, there's a red flag here. I don't know, I never look at that here. Don't go dancing with the red flags. That's one thing I want to say. Don't be naive. One thing I will say, if you're super happy about getting into a relationship and oh my goodness, just make sure you're not missing the red flags. I will say that. But apart from that, this is the most optimistic card in the deck. Just be aware of that here. Because they will be clear to you, but this is really about having fun, feeling happy, feeling optimistic, and kind of feeling like your inner child is being let out, like you're not afraid to be yourself and be goofy and be silly. Like there's a very optimistic energy coming through. Three of Cups as well. Happiness, friendships coming up for you as well. A lot of celebration happening here. So I like it. Alrighty, I'm gonna love you and leave you, Pisces. Sorry that the messages are a little bit confusing, but hopefully it made sense to the right people. Okay, so I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you guys next time. Alrighty.